All right, guys, so I'm gonna be working my back today, doing a little bit of lower body and upper body, but still keeping it back focused. I'm gonna be using the deadlift to start off, but also using the trap bar. So with that, it's a good mixture between the squat and the deadlift, and it keeps a little bit less pressure on your lower back. So it's great for beginners, but it's also great for more advanced lifters as well, because you can go usually heavier than you can with a straight bar. So as you'll notice, I'm gonna brace really tight with every single lift. Even the warm-up exercises, still treat that with the same respect. So try this workout, let me know how it goes for you. I think it's a great workout to build some muscle in your back. Back is one of my favorite days to do. So try this out, leave a comment, let me know how it goes, and here goes the workout.
Cody politicking, got the team winning. B. Lewis Fitness, everybody lifting.
So as you'll notice, I'm lifting without shoes on right now and just my socks. I like to do that because it gives me a better connection with the ground as far as gripping the ground with my feet. That's gonna help transfer force up through the rest of your body. So if you have not lifted in flat shoes or barefoot before, try it out. You're gonna feel stronger going up, and you should be able to do more weight. Make sure you're actually trying to grab the ground with your big toe, being active about it. And again, that should help you feel stronger, and you should be able to do more weight. So that's something you'll notice throughout the video. So a little pro tip that you can do when you're deadlifting is you want to hear this clicking sound in the bar before you actually stand up for the lift. So that's called taking the slack out the bar. That slack, as we call it, will be wasted energy that you have to do to stand up. So what you want to do is tighten up your lats. Think about if somebody was trying to tickle you in your armpit from behind and you were trying to stop that from happening. It should feel like you're pushing the side of your arm into your body as hard as possible. So again, if somebody were to try to stick their finger in your armpit, it's as if you're not letting them do that. Doing that correctly, you'll hear that click in the bar, and that's gonna help you have all your efforts be to get up. So that's something that can also keep your back flat when you get to the heavier weights for as long as possible. Once you get so heavy, your back may start to round, but it will round sooner than it should if you don't take that slack out the bar. So on this next set, just watch it carefully. You'll see a designated movement where I'm lifting up, tightening up my back, and then I stand. So the final little pro tip I can give you that you can start to implement next time you deadlift is to take a deep breath in using your stomach. So when you inhale, you don't want to see your chest go up and down like this. You want to be able to see your stomach go in and out like this. Breathing in that way is going to help you increase the internal pressure in your midsection, which is going to keep your back a little bit safer, but also help you generate maximum force. So as you'll notice on this next set, I'm taking a really deep breath in, and I'm holding that tight until I'm almost all the way up. So it's deep breath in, I'm bracing real hard, taking the slack out the bar, tightening up my lats, and then standing up fast. Even though this is a lightweight for me, I'm still gonna treat it as if it's 500 pounds. So guys, for this workout, I'm going all the way up to 405 pounds for 5 sets of 5 on the deadlift. As you'll notice, I'm doing a lot of warm-up sets. And you may be thinking, you know, aren't you gonna get tired by the time it's time to do 400 pounds? And the truth is, warming up helps me stay safe, but also mentally get ready to do the lift. And with that heavy weight, your body needs time to adapt to that stimulus. So if I come right in thinking, oh, I could do 400 pounds and I can do more, and I just throw 405 pounds on there, I'm not gonna get that lift and I'm putting myself at a huge injury risk. You have to warm up. So don't think warming up is going to tire you out. If you're getting tired from your warm up, you either are deconditioned, meaning you haven't really worked out for a long period of time, or what you think a warm up weight is actually way closer to a workout set than you thought. So for me doing 405, I know that is a low end of starting to be pretty challenging for me. But me doing 275, that's not gonna tire me out. That's, you know, honestly less than half of my max. So for other people, 275 might be a working set. Those people need to warm up with, you know, 95 pounds, 135 pounds. And you just wanna make sure your body feels real good. So if you feel knee pain, back pain, anything like that when you're warming up, that's a good sign. You need to warm up more, take it slower, do more warm-up sets, or maybe you shouldn't go heavy that day. And that's why I like to utilize warm-up sets. So I usually do about 6, 7, maybe even 8 warm-up sets. And it always has me feeling good when I'm doing my deadlift. So moving on, I'm gonna go to 315. I like to wear my weight belt starting at 315, and that's gonna help reinforce that I am breathing correctly. When my stomach goes out like that, I'm gonna feel that pressure from the weight belt against my stomach. That lets me know I took in a proper breath and it's time to stand up. If I don't feel that tension, I'm not gonna stand up yet, or I'll reset and make sure I get a bigger breath in. So when you see people wearing weight belts, that's what it's for. It's not just to tie it tight and, you know, you're safe. You have to actually breathe correctly. So 315 is next. I'm gonna throw on the weight belt. You'll still see me taking a big breath, bracing, staying tight, and standing up fast. So guys, you may be wondering, how do you know how many reps to do while you're warming up? So it depends on the person and, you know, how long they've been training, how old they are, their joint health. You kind of got to experiment to see what works well for your body. So for me personally, I like to start off with a little bit higher reps, and then I do fewer reps as I go heavy with the weight, and just use those warm-up sets to feel a challenging weight, but not to overexert myself. So for instance, I started at 135 and did 5 reps. Sometimes I might do 10 reps if I feel like I need to warm up more. Today I feel pretty good, so I just stuck with 5. And then as I go up, I'll do maybe 5, then 4, then 3, then 2, 1. And really it just depends on the person. So you have to train a couple times, see what your body responds better to. After you train for a few months, or better yet, a few years, you really know your body and how much you need to warm up. So with this next weight of 365, I'm only gonna do that one time, since 405 it will be the next weight. So this is just to feel something between 315 and 405, so I don't shock my body and the weight feels too heavy. So guys, now that I have 365 under my belt, what I'm gonna do is go up to 405. So what you can do, if that 405 or whatever your weight is feels easy when you do your first 5 reps, that's a good thing. When you want to do more extended reps with fairly heavy weight, you need to make sure that first set is fairly easy, because the accumulation is gonna be enough to be challenging for you. You don't want to do your true 5 rep max when you're doing 5 sets of 5 for the first set. So I have no idea what my true 5 rep max would be, but I do know 405 is manageable. It'll still be heavy, but remember, 5 sets of 5 is 25 reps. You're doing 25 reps. Think about it as 25 times 405 pounds. It's that amount of weight total of stress that you're putting on your body. So when you're doing a program, you're starting with 5 sets of 5, you do want that first week to be fairly easy. And when I say fairly easy, I mean maybe a 7 out of 10 intensity. 10 is the highest intensity you can possibly do. Well, you're reaching failure. You physically can't do it. 7 is, you know, the start of I'm working pretty hard. You got a light sweat going. It's a little bit of strain at the end, but you did make it through. So that's what I'm gonna go to. So if this looks pretty easy, it is a good thing because I want it to be, because I'm doing 25 reps total. And remember, I'm still doing a full workout after this. So guys, that is the first set of 5. I'm going to take about 2 minutes rest. And with that rest period, it just depends on how I'm feeling that day. Some days I'm feeling really good, I can do a minute and a half. Some days I'm really tired and I could do up to 3 minutes rest. So it just depends. Again, you'll learn your body after you train for some time. But first set down, 4 sets to go. Another 20 reps with 405. All right, guys, so that's 4 sets down. I got 1 more to go, and I'm sitting down because got a little out of breath from the last one. That's okay. But what I want you guys to know is that your mentality is everything, especially when you're doing heavy stuff like deadlift, squats, or bench pressing. You have to mentally tell yourself, I'm gonna get this. You can't have any doubt in your mind at all. So even if I was completely exhausted, going into this 5th set, I'm thinking I got this for sure. There's no chance I'm not gonna stand up with this. I'm either gonna die or I'm gonna stand up. Now, hopefully it's not that serious, but that's kind of what you wanna think. That's what I think. I think if somebody gave me $1 million right now and said, give me 5, could I do it? If that answer is yes, I'm getting 5. If I know no matter how much money somebody gave me, I couldn't do 5, I probably guessed wrong on the weight to do 5 sets of 5. So that's how you want to think about it. It's just, if you absolutely had to get this, can you do it? If the answer is yes, that's the intensity you need to go with to get results. So I may struggle just a tad bit, may take deeper breaths, but no matter what, I'm getting this 5 reps. And that's how I want you guys to think. All right, guys, 5 down. So the worst part of deadlifting is now I have to take off all that weight. So I'm gonna show you a little trick to take off the weight easily, or as easy as possible. I'm gonna take off all the weight off of one side, and then you're gonna tilt the bar, and then take the bar out, and now you have all the weight stacked up on the other side. And there you go. All right, next up in the workout, I have hip thrusts. So I'm gonna do 4 sets of 8 reps. With this, you wanna really focus on squeezing your glutes really hard. You're trying to feel this more in your butt cheeks than in your hamstrings or your lower back. So you might be wondering, why am I doing hip thrusts? Isn't that a girl exercise? And it's not a girl exercise, it's a glute exercise. And if you notice, if you ever seen girls doing hip thrusts, they have nice butts. And that's the reason. It's a great way to develop your glutes. So guys need hip thrusts too. It helps you generate power. You're also gonna be stronger on your deadlift and be able to use your glutes fully if you have great glute recruitment in the hip thrust. So if you have a narrow butt, if somebody stands behind you and it looks like your back pockets are touching, the hip thrusts are especially for you. And all my skinny guys out there, pretty much all y'all have skinny butts. So get under the bar, do hip thrusts. People may look at you crazy, but the only people that are looking at you crazy don't know the benefits of hip thrusts and probably have narrow behinds too. So hip thrust, 4 sets of 8. I'm gonna go with 135 just so I can make sure I get great squeezes. I will go heavier, but I don't have a Smith machine here. So I'm going to just slide underneath the bar and try to squeeze as hard as I can. Just like the deadlift, how I am going a little bit less than what's the most I can do, doing the same thing on hip thrusts. So whenever you're starting a new program, every single set, the first time, you always wanna go lighter than what you know you can do, because you don't know how you're gonna feel after. If you ever worked out and you were so sore you couldn't move, you overdid it. Regardless of what you think you should be able to do, you have to listen to your body. So it's always better to underdo it first than to overdo it. And since this program is 6 days a week, I don't want to have any days where I feel like I'm too sore to work out or to work out hard. So I'm always going to underdo it first, because I can always go up in weight the next week. Okay, so keys on the hip thrust. You wanna make sure that your knees stay out. That's gonna help turn on your glutes and make sure you're working the right muscles. You wanna also really hold that squeeze at the top. Don't rush through it, especially if you're doing 8 reps. You might wanna go heavy for 8 reps, but I would prefer that you get better squeezes than to overload yourself so that you don't feel your glutes working at all. And I suggest using a mat to protect your hips. So I like to do this on the Smith machine because it locks me in place so that every single rep is exactly the same, and it's easy to get the weight off me. I can just rotate my hands and hook the rack and I'm done. But I can't do that here, so I'm using a barbell, boosting myself up, get set up that way, which is another reason why I'm not going super heavy with the weight. So next up we have lat pull down, moving on to the upper body, still hitting the back though. I know you're wondering where did my shirt go, but I want to take my shirt off so that you can see the muscles that you're trying to target with this exercise. Right underneath your armpit area, the lats, that's what we're trying to hit. So again, I want you to think about somebody trying to tickle underneath your armpit, and you don't want that to happen. So you're gonna close that space up as hard as you possibly can. You wanna get good squeezes there, hold for a second, and then go all the way back up. But I'm also thinking about keeping my chest up so that I fully use my back. So if you do it right, your back should really be squeezing really hard, almost like it's cramping. You know you're doing it wrong when you feel it way more in your forearms and your back is rounded. So you're gonna see my back working, and this is what I want you to think about. Cover up the armpit, hold for a second, back up under control. Cover up the armpit, hold for a second, back up under control. pro tip here for the lat pull down is lifting your chest up and thinking shoulder blades down before you start to pull. That's gonna help ensure that you're fully using the lats. So as I'm pulling, I'm thinking up and then pull down. I'm thinking up and then pull down, not just doing this. So as you'll see, I lift up, squeeze, back up. All right guys, so the fourth exercise is T-bar row. So I'm gonna have my chest supported on here. I'm going to use the inside handles. I'm trying to target the middle of my back around the shoulder blade area, but I'm still thinking to squeeze and cover up my armpits just like with every other back exercise. So I'm going for 4 sets of 6 to 8 reps, going fairly heavy, but still keeping it reasonable. Trying to get good squeezes, get in, get out. All right, the fifth exercise that we have is single arm row. I'm gonna do 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. What you wanna make sure you do is start with the dumbbell in front of your shoulder so you get a full stretch of your lats. And then just like with every other back exercise, bring the weight in close to your body, squeezing that elbow in tight, protecting the armpit, hold for a second and back down. You're trying not to rush this and trying not to twist. You wanna keep your spine level, thinking chest up, pulling with the lats. Not pulling with the arm straight up and down, but thinking in an arc. All right guys, so in the comment section, I want you to let me know what you thought about this workout. If you try this out, I definitely want to know how you feel from it and how sore you are the next day. So again, you want to make sure you're picking an appropriate weight that's not the max you know you can do. You need to leave some room for you to go up the next week and the next week and the next week. It's all about getting that slow progress, but maintaining progress. If you go too hard, your progress is going to stop. So share this video with someone that needs a back workout. And again, hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment in this video.